joining me in the room podcast to talk about his welterweight title fight for CES MMA 66 on March 4th is Billy Goff. What's up, my friend?
Not much. Just about to head to practice tonight, and that's about what I do every night.
Full-time fighter, and that's what you do, man. What's left to do? You're heading to practice tonight. We're less than a week and a half away from this fight, man. Heading to practice. What's left this final leg of training camp?
Now I mean, you can't really squeeze any more technique in. It's all you got. What you got now. It's just hit the cardio and just go through the motions of practicing what you already know and getting a good sweat going. Not cutting weight yet. I'm dieting, but I'm not really doing any water weight. So it's just kind of coasting on in now.
Excellent. Well, out of all the training camps you've had, buddy, this is the biggest one of your career, the welterweight title for CES, man. Anything changed in this training camp as far as adding new tools, anything new, nutrition, anything like that?
Um, Nutrition. I mean, like the weight cut's been like I've been this camp. I would say is probably the leanest I've been in a while. I feel great about everything feels great. I mean, you always get little dings here and there. You can't go in unscathed. But I've been doing a lot of yoga, doing a lot of lifting, a lot of cardio outside of it, and it's just like everything's been easier.
Well, that's you've been there before, man. A couple of title fights as far as pro title fights. I mean, you've
Yeah.
had them as amateur too, man. But you are no stranger to long fights if they need to go there, man. You're preparing for a 5-round fight here, but knowing the two guys that are in the cage with Gary Balletto and yourself, man, I don't think anyone in the crowd or on social media knowing anything about you two fighters think this is going to go the distance, man. How excited are you about this matchup that CES has put together?
I'm super stoked. I'm the biggest thing I mean, what makes me the most excited is the belt, and it's just another step to getting where I want to get to. He's got a good name. He's got people watching him, and he's ranked high uh, on your rankings and on Tapology, and the so it's going to be good for my career. So I'm excited for this.
Excellent. Well, we spoke about fighting for belts before. Your first belt, I do believe, was for Reality Fight. Fighting a few years ago against Cameron Lachinov, a 5-round war there, definitely fight of the night there. You came out with a loss, but learned so much from that. Dude, it was like your third or fourth pro fight, maybe a third. And Cameron already had like 8 or 9 pro fights, maybe more on his belt. Then this past December, you won the Cage Titans welterweight title with a first round TKO, just a ground and pound finish, man. You're on a roll. Was the CES belt in your sights after you won that Cage Titans belt?
Absolutely. Once I got that belt, I knew I wanted to just. I'm belt hopping. If the UFC doesn't call me after this, I'm going to get another one. I know CFFC down in I think New Jersey or Philadelphia, right around that area. They've got a belt. I want theirs, so I'm just gonna keep belt hopping until I get called to the big leagues.
Well, you're still young, 23 years old. You've been through a lot of wars. Dude, looking at your record as far as the last 3 fights, your last 3 wins, and adding Gary to the mix there, before you actually fought these fighters, the records there is like 23-7 losses, man. You're fighting nothing but killers your whole career, man. How important has that been to you, Dexter, instilling that fighting the best of the best to be prepared? How much has that helped you and prepare mentally and not only physically for this big task ahead next weekend?
It's huge. I mean, like even Dex talks about it. Like most guys they pick their fights. They pick their fights as amateurs and as pros, and they get the right fights to get a good record, to get them seen at the right times. Which is, I mean, it's a smart thing to do, but it's not what's going to make you the best in the world, in my opinion. The Like I've been fighting the best guys since I was an amateur, and it's only like I've only been in there with good dudes. Like I never look back and go, "Oh, he was a turd." That was kind of just a stepping stone. It's like no, like these guys were legit in the area that they were in, and I'm gonna keep adding and making my way up off of them. And it gives me confidence knowing it's like, all right, my stuff works. I know I'm good. Like I can't say, oh man, maybe I'm just not good at this. It's like, no, I'm pretty just off of the people I fight alone. It's like, yeah, I'm good at what I do.
Excellent. Well, Gary is on a tear himself. You're on a 3-fight winning streak, winning fight of the year against Sean Lally, another big name, last year for Cage Titans. So you had a big run for Cage Titans, got a win for Bellator to kick off that winning streak. Gary's coming in with two finishes, two RNC finishes in the last, last year or so, coming back to MMA. He's got a couple of boxing matches, got a couple of wins there. What do you know about Gary? I mean, he's a big name. He's a CES face, and of course, a company guy for them. Had all his boxing matches and MMA fights for them. What do you see in him? Is he been somebody that you've watched over the years, or just somebody that has been put in front of you and somebody you need to take out to get to that next level?
More so the latter. I've known his name like for a little bit because like as I started getting up in the rankings, I'd look at the rankings all the time, and I would see his name, so I knew his name. Like I've heard it before. I didn't see him fight. I've never fought at CES, so that's part of why I haven't seen him fight there. So I knew his name, but I didn't really know of him that well. So now it's just like, all right, well, you're in my way, so get out of the way.
He's 8-2, I believe 7-2. I believe all 7 of his fights are they're all finishes either by KO, TKO, or ground finish with submissions. Man, what are you looking at in this fight? It's exciting. I mean, this is the fight. This is the welterweight fight, and that people are waiting for the past few years. It's two young talents here. We think as media, and I would imagine fans and coaches and just fighters around, whoever wins this fight, I mean, is going to go on to the next level as far as, contender series, late notice call up, man. What do you see in this fight as far as, skill wise against skill wise and just excitement against, two guys that are going there banging?
He's got good boxing. Like he's done boxing matches. I think that's what he started out doing, and he's got a few submission wins. He's dangerous if you're not paying attention. He will get you. But I don't think striking, grappling, like any aspect in the game, I don't think he's on my level. And that's no disrespect to him, but I just think I'm better than him, and I think I'm going to show that March 4th. It's like you don't have an answer for me anywhere.
Well, looking at your past performances and what you've achieved in just like the last year and a half, bro, man, the confidence in whatever you say, man, and believe in it, bro, you're doing it. So go in there with all that confidence, man. As far as Gary, I spoke to him, and he has nothing but the most respect for you. He knows you're up and coming like him. And yeah, he's excited for this fight too. As a fight fan, he said he's excited to see what the outcome is. And he, talking to him, he said, whoever wins or loses this fight, it's still gonna elevate them no matter what, because this is the fight for the East Coast right now. Big name with Gary Balletto. You couple of wins for Bellator, holding that Cage Titans title. Big name coming up, man. This is the fight to make. How excited are you to go into Gary's backyard, Twin Rivers? They're back there after a couple of years and perform and, be that guy that you've been in the past and spoil the party for that guy.
That's going to be one of the best parts. Is I'm going to get booed on my way out. I'm going to get booed when I win. It's going to be a whole show, and I'm going to love it. It's going to be when it happened at Cage Titans, it was amazing. I was like, man, this is like, it didn't bother me at all. I was like, oh, you guys are mad at me. It's because I go on the internet and I just troll people sometimes. Like I just start picking fights with people. I love it when people get mad. So I was like, oh, this is a blast. Like you guys, if you really wanted to mess with me, don't boo me. Like cheer me on, I guess. Like you're better off messing me up that way.
Excellent. Well, Billy, we never see you without a smile in the fight, after the fight, during the fight, man. You're having a ball in there. It's your life, bro. You're 23 years old. Fighting is definitely something that's going to carry you into big, big things ahead, man. So as far as this fight and what do we expect to see? This is your third pro title fight. Your biggest title fight to date. This is CES Fight Pass, gateway to the UFC. What do we expect to see from Billy Goff on March 4th at Bally's Twin Rivers?
I'm coming out like I have before. Everything I got, I'm gonna every second. I'm gonna try to win. I'm gonna give everything I got every second. I'm not holding back. I'm not gonna coast. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go for the finish, and I'm gonna put him out. Like that's where my mindset is. Like I always when I go into it, especially for these title fights, I always expect like, yep, it's in my like I prepare myself for 5 rounds of a war. It's gonna be the most brutal fight that I've ever had. So that when I get in there, if it's anything shorter, then I'm not surprised. If it goes 25 minutes, it's like all right, this is what I expected. And if I put them out quicker, then great. It's a great night.
Well, like I said, no one expects this to go 5 rounds, bro. And sky's the limit for both of you guys going there. Young talents, win or lose, you guys are going to the bigger level sooner than later. Either one of you with the hand raised there. So, last thing, bro, who's going to be in your corner? Who's taking the trip with you, and going to be your little crowd that's going to cheer you on there?
Yeah, I've sold like 74 tickets. So I got a decent little group going. There'll be some noise from me. Uh, I've got my team going, my coaches. I've got 4 people. I'm pretty sure since the type I get 4 people in the corner. So I've got my teammate Austin, Dex, Rich, Kirkor, my coach, jiu-jitsu coach, and they're gonna be my corners. I got all the guys down in my gym are going, all my teammates. I've got tons of people going. So it'll be a good show, I think.
Excellent, my man. Well, I'll be there. I'll be there with Travis and Lars. They'll be at the media table. I have a front row ticket, so I'm going to sit there, have a couple of beers, enjoy the show as a fan because I have to absorb it, man. And, I'll be there for post-fight interviews with Travis and them, man. Come get a word. I'll be talking to some of your training partners, shooting the shit, man. It's going to be a great friggin' time, man. And I'm excited for you, kid, man. This is your shot. And, it looks like you're very, very willing to take it over, man. So last thing, Billy, social media, thank you, sponsors. And I'll let you get to practice tonight and, iron out the little kinks before next weekend.
Yeah. A huge thing. I mean, thank you to you for giving me the time. Thank you to my teammates, my friends, family. They always support me through all this. And like, it means a lot. And it goes a long way. Because it helps me push harder when I don't want to push as hard. Thank you to my sponsors. I've got more sponsors lately. I haven't in the past. Didn't really put too much effort into it. Now I am. I've got a Cardboard Kids. It's my uncle's company. They sell and buy sports cards. If anybody's interested, Mummy's Bakery. They make gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, all kinds of stuff. They co-pack. They're great. I've had their snacks. They're delicious. Carlos Barbershop in Connecticut helped me out. Mystic Yoga Shala in Mystic, Connecticut. I go there every week. I'm gonna be cutting some weight there because it gets nice and hot with the steamer. So if you guys do any yoga or you're interested in doing yoga, check them out. Other than that, just thank you to all the fans, everybody who's coming, everybody who's watching from home, and I hope I can put on a good show for everybody.
Excellent, my man. Well, dude, congratulations again on a huge, huge opportunity fighting for that welterweight title for CES, man. This is huge, huge for New England. You're ranked number 1 under our rankings. I think Gary is at least 4 or 5, maybe even closer. But dude, this is fireworks, and I can't wait to hear the roof blow off that place when you guys get announced and hit the cage, man. So with that said, Billy, I'll see you in less than a week and a half, man. And happy travels up until you get in that cage, man.
Yes, sir. You as well.
All right.